Okay, so have you ever scrolled through social media and felt that, like, pang of everybody else is having way more fun than me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's that feeling.
Totally.
It's FOMO.
It is.
Fear of missing out, right?
Okay.
But what if I told you there's a flip side to that?
Okay.
There's JOMO.
JOMO.
The joy of missing out.
I like it.
And that's what we're going to dive into today.
Awesome.
We're looking at Tonya Dalton's book, The Joy of Missing Out, Live More by Doing Less.
Oh, I love that book.
And this book, it's not just about like saying no to things.
Right.
It's really like a whole new way of looking at your life and how you're living it.
Yeah, and it really tackles that feeling of pressure.
Right.
To do more, be more, have more.
Yeah.
And, all of that can be really exhausting.
It is.
So I appreciate that she offers a bit of an alternative to that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a little bit.
Okay.
Dalton, she starts off with this whole idea of a North Star.
Right.
And she describes it as, your purpose, your vision, your values.
It's that guiding light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, the thing that's guiding all your decisions.
For sure.
And this might sound a little,
Woo, woo.
Ooh, right.
Okay.
But why do you think this North Star is so important?
Well, I think it's so important because it acts like a filter.
Right.
It helps you to look at everything, all the noise and the pressure of what everyone else is doing, and kind of sift through all that. So it's like, imagine if you had a clear vision of where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
That North Star helps you to actually navigate towards it.
Gotcha.
And it helps you make sure that your choices actually align with what matters most to you.
Okay.
Not just what's trendy or what's expected of you.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about like saying no to everything as it is like being able to say a really strong yes to the things that actually resonate with that vision.
Yes.
With that North Star.
Totally.
And that kind of brings us to another point that Dalton makes in her book, which is that being productive, it's not about just checking off a million tasks from some list.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on what really matters.
Yes.
Have you ever felt that way? Like you're crazy busy.
Oh my gosh, all the time.
But you're not actually accomplishing anything that feels meaningful.
Absolutely.
That's like you're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah. And that's where I think that North Star idea really comes in.
Okay.
Because if you're working on things that are truly connected with your values, you feel such a sense of purpose.
Right.
Even if you're objectively doing less than somebody who is just constantly busy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we make that happen?
Right.
So Dalton, she actually provides this framework to help us achieve that alignment.
Okay.
It's called the Live Well method.
Live well. Okay.
And it's 5 steps.
All right.
There's purge, process, prioritize, protect, and propel.
Okay, that's a good system.
It is. It's like spring cleaning for your to-do list.
I like it.
So imagine, your priorities they're just buried
beneath all the clutter.
Yeah, this mountain of clutter.
Yep.
So first you got to purge, like get rid of all the unnecessary stuff.
Get it out of there.
Then you got to process and organize what's left.
Okay.
Then you prioritize what truly matters. Then from there, you protect your time and energy.
Yes.
To focus on those priorities.
Protect it.
And then finally, you propel yourself forward.
You got it.
It's really like a journey.
It is. It's a process.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just like a one and done.
Exactly. Yeah. It's interesting. Of those 5 steps, is there one that really speaks to you?
I think the one that really stands out to me is protect.
Okay.
Because, it's so easy for all those less important tasks to kind of creep back in and take over your time.
Absolutely.
So setting boundaries is just crucial.
Yeah.
Think of it like building a fence around your time and energy, making sure that those top priorities actually get the attention that they deserve.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like you're protecting what really matters to you.
Exactly.
But Dalton, she's not saying that we need to strive for this like unattainable picture perfect balance.
Right.
She talks about embracing harmony over balance.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think it's a really interesting distinction.
Yeah.
Can you kind of elaborate on that? Like what's the difference there?
So, imagine if you were trying to balance a scale perfectly.
Okay.
It's really rigid.
Oh, right.
And the slightest change can just throw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
But life isn't really like that.
It's not.
Harmony is a little bit more fluid.
Okay.
It's more dynamic.
Gotcha.
It's like, think of a juggler.
Okay.
Keeping multiple balls in the air. Some balls are higher than others at times.
Right.
But the juggler kind of adapts to that and keeps the flow going.
Right. So it's not about like everything being perfectly equal all the time.
Exactly.
It's about being able to like move and shift as things come up.
Exactly. It's recognizing that different areas of life will ebb and flow.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of flow, Dalton also talks about scheduling.
White space.
White space, right?
Yes.
And this is intentional time for rest and reflection.
So important.
Why do you think that's so crucial, especially in our always-on culture?
I think it's so important because that white space is like the fertile ground where creativity blossoms.
Okay.
You know, when we step away from that constant doing,
yeah,
we actually give ourselves space to process things,
right,
to recharge, and allow for new ideas to kind of bubble up.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the antidote to burnout.
Okay.
And it's so essential for, you know, a truly fulfilling life.
Absolutely. So it sounds like this white space it's pretty important.
Oh, it's vital.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to recap from our deep dive into the joy of missing out.
Right.
First, you identify your North Star.
Right.
That guiding purpose that's going to keep you on track.
Yes.
Then you focus on what truly matters. Not just filling up your schedule for the sake of being busy.
Right.
And then finally, you create that harmony in your life.
Yep.
Allowing for flexibility.
That ebb and flow.
Yeah, embracing the ebb and flow and prioritizing those essential pockets of white space.
Yes.
It's really powerful stuff.
It is, yeah.
And to kind of leave you with a thought.
Okay.
What one small step can you take today to invite a bit more JOMO into your life?
That's a great question.
Yeah. So think about it.
Yeah.
Could be saying no to something that doesn't serve you.
Right.
Could be scheduling some white space into your calendar.
Yes.
Or it could be simply just taking a moment to reflect on your own North Star.
Absolutely.
Sometimes those smallest shifts can really make the biggest difference.
For sure.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
On this deep dive. And until next time.
Yes.
Embrace the joy of missing out.
The JOMO.
Yeah.
Absolutely.